Hello everyone, I am Erika of beadingschool.com and this is Coffee Time with Erika, my weekly beady broadcast. You can watch it from the Beading School Facebook page or you can watch it also from the Beading School Club. And let's see who is here with us today. Say hi in a comment please so I can greet you. Today we have a special topic. At Beading School, we are all about learning and we are all about sharing knowledge. And today I have a guest with me and we are going to bead some peyote bezels together. Lots of beaders were asking me that if they are ready for the Beading School Academy. And yeah, we have some more advanced projects there. So I always say that if you know peyote bezels, then that's great, and you can just go and join the academy. So today's session is a wonderful opportunity to meet fellow beaders. Beginners can meet more advanced beaders. More advanced beaders can share their knowledge, and we can all look into peyote bezels together. So, good morning, Ludka and Katja and Iris and Sherry and Brit Marie and Deb and Kata, Katie, Sunny's here, Marianske, Eileen, Claire, Tanya. And if I did not say your name, then it's because I don't see your name. You are watching from my Facebook group, the Beading School Club, and you need to give permission to my broadcasting program to see your name and see your face. So there's a link above the video, and you can just click there, and that's it. So I would like to invite on screen Wendy Whitman, beady YouTuber, and we are going to bead together some peyote bezels today. I am sharing the link to Wendy's YouTube channel, and you can check out her tutorials and unboxing videos and all kinds of beading stuff. So, hi Wendy, welcome.
Hi, Erica. Good afternoon, I guess, to you.
Yeah, it's good afternoon it's afternoon for us. It's 5 o'clock here in the afternoon in Amsterdam, and good morning to you across the ocean.
Yes, it is 11 o'clock here, so yes,
Okay.
late
Have you
morning.
already had your morning coffee?
I have. I have it in my Star Wars mug.
You're in the Star Wars. Nice. Old ones or
The
new
force is with
ones?
me.
Do you like the old movies or the new movies?
Oh, I like all of them. I
Oh.
like all of them. Yeah, I watch them all. Doesn't matter.
So, thanks for joining me today.
Thanks for having me.
And can you tell us something about yourself, something about your YouTube channel, what kind of videos can we find there, and so on?
Okay. Well, I've had my YouTube channel for about 9, 10 years. And I started out doing a small bit of bead weaving, and then I switched over into stringing. So I've been stringing. I work a little with polymer clay and resin also. But my viewers and I would like to learn bead weaving. So we are so excited. I'm so excited. I bezeled my very first peyote little Rivoli, and I was so happy about it. So yeah, this is a new adventure for us, but we're so honored that you would come on and help teach us how to do this. So we're very excited. All of us are. We've been talking about it in my Facebook group. So very excited.
Well, it's my pleasure, Wendy. And yeah, welcome to the Bead Weaving Tribe. And it's really nice to have you here. And yeah, Wendy was the first beader who was looking into my first peyote bezel or first peyote bezel Bezel box where you can learn everything about like the basics of peyote bezels. So, and it's the first one of in our Learn to Bead series. So, how did you like it, and what did you find inside when you opened it?
Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, it's an amazing, amazing little box here. So you get this goodness in the mail, and when you open it, you have a bead mat, which I think is so thoughtful on your end to include this, because if you have never done bead weaving, and we have these teeny tiny little beads and they fly everywhere, so this was very thoughtful. Thank you so much for including the bead mat. So we have the bead mat, which is wonderful. We have tulip beading needles. These are size 12, 11, I'm sorry. These are very good quality, the best beading needles that you can buy. So they don't bend. I have bezeled 3 or 4 little rivolis with my needle here. It is still straight as an arrow, and they're just very high quality, great needles. We got a lot of really pretty, beautiful fire polished beads. I'm trying to be on camera here. It's almost like you're looking in a mirror. Fire polished beads in metallic amethyst chalk. They're a beautiful color. I'm hoping that it's showing up.
Showing on the picture the
Yes,
pendant that I have made from it.
beautiful. We got those. We got a gorgeous filigree piece. It's a brooch, and brooches are not super common or popular anymore in America. So I'm really glad to see this, because I think we need to bring them back. They're very pretty. I have a lot of old brooches that were my grandmother's, but lately you don't see them too much. So that's really, really cool to get. We got some chain and a clasp, a lobster clasp and some chain. So this is great for the pendant portion of this teaching. We have a beautiful drop in crystal white. This is so pretty. It's got almost looks like a quartz kind of feel to it. It's just gorgeous. So we got that one. We got a burgundy drop as well. Whoops. There it is.
Yeah,
Very
you can hang those either at the bottom of your pendant, or you can hang those even at the bottom of your brooch. Like here is the burgundy one.
Yes, so pretty. Goodness. And then she included ear wires as well, which are really nice for we're going to do if we make our earrings. So those are beautiful. And then the rivolis, which just I love these so much. So we've got the 8mm in Vitrol Light. We have 8mm in AB. Then we have 12mm. Here, let me hold them up. They're so pretty. We have 10mm and a 14mm as well. So a lot of variety. So many different sizes, and in the booklet that's included, which is awesome too. I followed this and bezeled my own little rivoli. I'm so proud of this little fellow. It's the first one I've ever done. But the booklet is just easy to follow, and it's going to show you every project that we can do with these beautiful rivolis. And I guess you can bezel cabochons as well. It shows in here, which is interesting to me too, because I know the rivoli has the pointed back, the cabochon is flat. So that's interesting.
Just a little correction there. The rivolis are cabochons. Cabochons can have flat backs, or they can have pointy backs. So, for example, also the chatons, which are even more pointy, you know them from our Preciosa box, they are also cabochons. And you can bezel all kinds of shapes and sizes. So that's where peyote is a very, very versatile technique. And about those cabochons,
Yes.
all of them that you have in the box, they are Preciosa crystal cabochons. So they are super high quality Czech crystals, and in different colors, and they all match to each other, so you can make variations.
Yes, they're so, so pretty. The facets in there are just amazing. Oh, beautiful. Then we got our Delica's seed beads and our 15s in 2 different colors. So we have these and Fireline. And Fireline, I've worked with Fireline a lot, even though I haven't done a lot of bead weaving. I have done some stringing. Fireline is super strong. I have rarely ever had it break, and if it did, it was because I frayed it. So it's just very high quality, super strong stringing material that will last and last and last forever. It's coated in a waxy little coating. It doesn't tangle really badly. It's easy to use. So yeah, they included this as well. So this box is just amazing. I'm excited to work with it. I know my beaters also on my channel are excited to work with it too. So yeah,
So
great.
I'm glad that you had fun with it already. And like last week, also during Coffee Time with Erika, we were talking with the beaders who are also here with us today about like the beginnings of our beading journeys. And lots of us mentioned, myself included, that one of the biggest mistakes that I have made at the beginning of my beading journey is that I went for cheap, lower quality beading material. And I feel that that is something that can be easily avoided. So in this box, we try to put like the best that you can have. The Fireline is like the strongest beading thread that you can have, but it's like super thin, so it fits several times through even the smallest seed beads. Then the tulip beading needles. Ladies out there listening to the broadcast, how do you like working with Fireline and tulip beading needles? Because like I think that those are like the top quality, the best what you can have. So starting out with good quality, it just makes the beginnings when you are trying to wrap your head around all those stitches so much easier and so much more rewarding. So that's what we have there for you. And yeah, indeed, Tanya says that Fireline is great to work with. Connie says that they are a must. And Faye, good morning, Faye. Faye also says that Fireline is my preferred thread. Katja also loves it. So indeed, it's an absolute favorite of mine. And well, we will bezel a Rivoli together with Wendy today. And in the meanwhile, I would like to ask our readers here to share their tips, share their knowledge, if they like peyote bezels, whatever comes to your mind about them. So I will now put also my second camera on screen so you can see what I am doing. That's already my cabochon and my first bead. And I will also put the instructions on screen. So when we are making, Wendy will be beading along with me, and we will try sharing our tips and tricks and everything. And please do the same and also ask your questions if something comes to your mind. And the very basics, when we are bezeling with peyote, then we always use the same size of seed beads, always 2 sizes of seed beads. It does not matter how big is your cabochon, what is the shape of your cabochon, but we always start with the little cylinder-shaped milky delica seed beads in size 11, and then later we switch to round milky seed beads size 15. And we always start with an even number of beads on our thread. It depends on your on the size of your cabochon, that how many beads do you need. I am working today, for example, with a 10 millimeter Rivoli. So in the booklet that you can find in the box, you will find that for 10 millimeter Rivoli, you need 28 pieces of Miyuki Delica. What's the size of your Rivoli today, Wendy?
I did the 8 millimeter earlier, so I have the 10 millimeter as well.
Okay.
Here. So, and I found yesterday, like I said, I have never beaded a Rivoli before. I have tried unsuccessfully. Mine always falls out of its encasement, always. And so yesterday, Erika showed me that I was using the wrong amount of seed beads. So that's super important. Apparently, you have to have it exactly right for the size Rivoli that you have. So learn that really quickly. Very important.
Yeah, with smaller sizes, it's even more important. Sorry, I will switch on my other light so there is more light on my bead mat. With bigger cabochons, here, for example, I was bezeling a bigger art cabochon. There, you can sometimes like mask it if you have like less or more, that you add more rows. But especially with the crystal Rivolis, you have to have the exact number. So today I have 28 Miyuki Delicas on my thread. And to make it easier for our readers to follow, I am using two colors of Miyuki Delica, so you see it better that what's happening. And also in the illustrations, I included two different colors, but you can use one color, of course, to have a simpler look like here. And when you are ready with the 28 delicas, what's important? We don't tie knots in this case. We will secure the thread at the very end. What I am doing is that I leave 10 to 12 centimeters, 5-6 inches of the fire line as the tail thread, and I will weave it in later. But now I am not tying a knot. And when I have the 28, make sure that you have the precisely the number that you need. Then I connect the beads into a circle by beading through, well, 1, 2, 3, it doesn't really matter that how many. I bead through the first 1, 2, 3 beads one more time to join them into a circle. How is it going, Wendy?
It's going great. And you do that from the tail end back, right?
Sorry?
You do that from the tail end. You go back in the tail end and make the little circle, correct?
Exactly. You start with the last one, you go one more time through the last one from the direction of the, well, last one, the first one that you picked up from the direction of the tail. And more experienced beading ladies out there, do you still remember your first peyote bezel? I'm curious to know. And Wendy, let me know that how are you doing?
I'm doing great.
Okay. Or if someone has a question, then just let me know. We are happy to answer everything. Claire says that she can't decide whether I prefer peyote or raw bezels. That's a good question. I like them both. Peyote is lots of work sometimes with big cabochons, but I like how many opportunities it gives us that we can then easily connect all kinds of stuff into the bezel, more cabochons, or like here, I connected some drops to it or charms. We can connect several peyote bezels to each other. So for me, it's worth the work, but raw is also great. Okay, Wendy has it. Wonderful. So let's progress to step 2. And when we have this, then I will look into the comments or beaders are sharing their experiences about their first peyote bezels. So I'm curious to read. So I am now exiting a Miyuki Delica. And what I'm doing is I pick up, I stay with the same size for now. I pick up one new Miyuki Delica. I skip one bead in my basic circle, the one that is colored with this, that is this actually very beautiful metallic rhubarb Miyuki Delica color. It's one of my favorites. So I skip the first bead after my exit point, where my thread is hanging from, and then I bead through the second Miyuki Delica in my circle. So when I pull the thread, the two beads, the one that I skipped and the one that I just picked up, they will be next to each other. As you see also on the picture, the purple and the gray one. So, and my thread goes through, on the picture it's green. I could not find vibrant color green, so I have a turquoise in real life. And then again, I pick up another Miyuki Delica. I skip a Miyuki Delica in my base circle and I bead through the second one. Again, I pull my thread and then I see that a kind of a zip pattern is forming. So this is how it should look like, and this is how we go all around.
Can I ask you a question, Erika?
Of course, all the time.
Okay. So if your beads are not sitting on top of each other, is it important to make them do that as you go along?
I like to do that because if you arrange them later, then your thread tension might be too loose. And that can also cause, that's, by the way, super nice question. And it can cause that later your cabochon will not sit securely in the bezel. So tension is very important.
Okay.
One of the reasons why we don't tie a knot when we are making peyote bezels is that our beads can wiggle around a bit. They will, as we arrange them, then exactly that much thread will slide into them as we need. So we don't end up with a too tight or a too loose bezel.
Okay.
And in the meanwhile, Kathy says, the first time I did it, it was a workshop on a creative fair. It was way too loose. Like finding correct thread tension for the first time, it's so not easy. And after some time, we get more comfortable with it, or fingers will kind of feel the correct thread tension. But for the first times, it's a challenge indeed. And Sandra says, my first peyote bezel took me an entire evening. I thought it was so difficult that it took me quite some time before I dared trying it again. And Vonia says, my first successful bezel was with you, especially when you gave us the Derek account. Then I'm really happy that I helped Vonia. And then we have Wendy here, another Wendy, and she says, I have not tried to bezel a cabochon as yet. Very beginning reader here. Welcome, Wendy, and thanks for watching. And if you have any questions, let us know, please. And did you also make your peyote bezel already into a jewel, Wendy, or it is for now a bezel cabochon? Did you make it into a finished jewel?
No, not yet. I just bezeled it. I was proud of myself for accomplishing that.
Of course.
I have tried many times, and I've watched other YouTube videos and just have never been able to do it successfully. So I was so happy today to be able to do that. And I know I agree with Wendy. You know, I'm very beginning on here as well. So you are not alone. You know, we're learning together. So
I think it's wonderful to be in this together, and I'm so happy that readers who want to learn and who meet us today, because they know you, they can meet also bidders who are more experienced, maybe as they follow the Beading School channel for a while, and like sharing knowledge and tips and tricks, and that's just that's just wonderful.
yes, when we see the things that you have made and your followers have made, it amazes me. I've looked in your Facebook group at the pictures that people post, and it's just absolutely amazing. So I don't. I hope to be on that level someday. I'm just happy now to be able to do this.
You will get there, Wendy, and thank you so much in the name of the whole Beading School community. And indeed, we have very talented beaders here. And every week we actually have on Fridays we have an open class called No One Has to Bead Alone, when we work always on the same motif together. And every week I'm completely amazed by the creativity of leaders who join.
I'm reading the comments.
Yeah, we have a question here. Sally, hi Sally. So far on your diagram, are all of the beads the same size? Indeed, Sally. For now, we have the same size, Miyuki Delica size 11, the cylinder-shaped beads. And after this step, we will switch to the smaller ones. And in the meanwhile, also Kata shared her experience. She says, I don't remember when it was her first peyote bezel. Certainly found it interesting. I'm sorry sometimes for smaller caps that it covers too much of it. That can be an issue, indeed. And then we have a question. How many beads around this bezel? The diagram shows 18, but that seems too few beads. There are fewer beads on the diagram because this is a universal diagram, but it depends on the size of your cabochon, so you need to adjust it. The stitch will stay the same, but you adjust just the numbers. So, for example, for an 8mm cab, you start with 22. For a 10mm cabochon, you start with 28, and so on. So, how are you doing with this step, Wendy?
Okay, I am at the end. So I came around my entire circle and they all look really good. And now I'm coming out of this one. And so my question is, do I need to add another one, or do I go up to this next one?
Then you see on your bezel that there are only 2 beads left.
Mm-hmm.
Then you indeed need one more bead. And just as before, you skip the first bead after your exit point, you bead through the second one. And since this is the last delica bead in this step that we are adding, then we will do a trick called stepping up, because then we will continue adding beads between the beads that we just added now in step 2. So first, we bead through that second bead in the basic round, and then diagonally we also bead through the very first bead that we added in this step. And with peyote bezels, we always do the same, that we step up at the end of a row. So now my thread is hanging from one of the Okay, I will go into a gray one. So I stay color coordinated with my illustration. So my thread is hanging from a gray bead.
I think it's looking good. Whoops. There it is.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Wonderful. So, and to show you a little bit the tightness of this, I can still like move it. It's not rigid, but there is no gap between the beads.
Okay.
No thread showing.
Okay.
And now is the time that we switch to the smaller ones. So if you look at the illustration, then you see that until now, the beads were drawn as little barrels. And now we switch to the slightly smaller round-shaped ones. And this will be a super easy step. We will be adding the round-shaped smaller beads between the beads that we just added in the previous step into the gaps. And in the meanwhile, Zuzi also joined us. Zuzi likes peyote bezels too, right? So the beads that I added in my previous step, they are gray. And I was exiting a gray bead. I picked up this smaller round-shaped yellow one, and I beaded through the next gray bead. And this is how I bead all around.
Do you pull it tight so there's no thread showing yet, or do you do that?
Yeah, I already pull it tight.
You do, okay.
I try to show it like this.
Yes.
So the bezel, if we looked at the bezel from the side, then it would be like a tiny barrel that we bead around and around, always with the same number of beads, but in the middle of the barrel, the beads are bigger, the 𝐁𝐄𝐃𝐈𝐍𝐆, and at the top and at the bottom, the beads are smaller, the round-shaped 15s. So that's why it's curving, and it will curve on top of the cabochon and on the bottom of the cabochon.
Okay.
By the way, a couple of weeks ago, we had a team building with the Beading School team, and then everyone and most of our colleagues, they are not beaders, and everyone tried bezeling a cabochon. And we did basically the same as we are doing today with Wendy. And I think everyone, or nearly everyone, except our IT guy, Adam, my husband, everyone said that they will continue beading, that they are completely hooked.
I have tried to get Chris to try beading. No, he does not. He has no interest at all.
Oh, is it a very determined no, or do you see? Okay.
It's a very determined no.
Well, I can say, Wendy, that it took for us. I know Adam for now it's 19 years. We are together for 19 years. And he did his first beading a year and a half ago. After 17 years of being together.
Well, I am very proud of him for doing that. Chris thinks that these tiny little beads make him nervous. So I
Oh,
think they're relaxing. You know, this is relaxing to me, but to him, this is stress.
I think if he battled through the first one, then when he knows how it works, then it becomes relaxing.
Yes, I'm going to tell him you said that.
Oh,
See if I
but
can.
we actually have online an interview with my husband after his first time beading about his experience. So
Really? Oh, I need to find that.
in the meanwhile, I am looking into the comments if there are any questions. Jessica is asking about my cabochon. Yes, indeed, I'm bezeling a 10 millimeter cabochon. Thank you, Tanya, for answering. And Zuzi says, I love peyote bezels. It's such a nice element to be added into your beadwork, a starting point to many pretty embellishments. And I'm adding now the last round 15 in this row. And just as before, I bead through the next gray bead, and then to step up into my next row, I also bead through the very first round 15 that I have added in this step. And indeed, I pull my thread tight to make sure that my cabochon will stay where it's supposed to stay. How are you doing, Wendy?
I am right there with you. So I'm through my 15, and stepped up through the 15 to the next row. And it does look like a little, it's starting to cup, you know, make a little, instead of being flat, it's
Yeah.
standing up.
That's how it's supposed to look. So if we go to the next step, then now we stay with the same around 15 seed beads, and we are going to add them between the round 15s added in the previous step. As this is the second and last row of round 15s on the top of the cabochons, then at the end we will not step up, but in fact we will step down all the way to the other side of the cabochon, so we can also close the bottom of the bezel. And in the meanwhile, Niti says, Erika, Martin picked out the letterbox in the background. He's wondering what your plans are with it. And this beautiful vintage letterbox in the background, that was actually a beautiful and very valued gift from my friend here, from Niti. And I'm in a process, a very long process of organizing my beading room. And now I'm at the point that I want to organize my Preciosa Bicon beads better because I have quite a lot of colors these days. And just like, look at this. I use this tiny flip tops and they fit exactly into the little shelves on the letterbox. So that's what's going to happen with this beautiful vintage letterbox here in the background. Flip tops will be filled with Preciosa icons and they will go inside the little shelves.
That will be so pretty when you get all those colors in there in the containers. That'll be beautiful.
Oh, I'm working hard on acquiring all the colors.
Yes.
How do you like playing with the Preciosa icons, by the way?
Oh, I love them. I think they're beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. They come in so many different colors. I've really enjoyed. I think my favorite size is the 6 millimeter,
Mhm.
just because it's kind of A little bit bigger, you can see the color. So pretty. I like them. I really do.
Well, I'm really happy that you like them, Wendy. I enjoy playing with them too. I was today beading actually a beaded bead. Where is it? Okay, I will show it at the end, the picture. I beaded a beaded bead using 3 millimeter Preciosa bicons, and we can bead it together during the No One Has to Bead Alone class on Friday. So after Peyote Bezel, a beaded bead is a very nice thing to learn. And
Brandel, I'm sorry, go ahead.
that I just see a question
Yes.
from Brendel. And she says, "Hi, Brendel. I don't know if this has been asked or answered yet, but will we be able to rewatch this? I'm working, so I can't bead along with you guys." Thanks, Brendel, for joining anyway, even while working. And indeed, you will be able to rewatch this. You will be able to rewatch this from the Beading School YouTube channel, and Wendy will also upload this to her YouTube channel. So you will find it at both places. And we are here, we will be here for answering your questions. And I'm at the last bead on the front. How are you doing, Wendy? Where are you?
I am at the last bead as well. I'm going through the very last 15 on the front.
Oh my God, we are so in sync.
So I think that it is, yeah, it looks right. So there we have it. Whoops, little tiny.
So when I add the last bead from the very front, the last row on the front side of the cabochon, by the way, I always bead the front side of the cabochons first, and then I close the bezel. For me, it works better. So when I add the last bead on the front side, then instead of stepping up, I would step up if I wanted to add more rows, but I don't want to. So I want to step down, and I bead diagonally through all the beads to the other side of the bezel, to a bead that is like sticking out on the other side of the bezel. Wendy, did I say that correctly? Sticking out? Sometimes I'm not so sure about my English vocabulary. So how do you say that correctly?
Yes, these ones sticking out on the top or sticking up. Yes, absolutely. You did perfect. And I noticed Sally has a question. I don't know how to answer that for her.
Okay, Natalie. She says, when beading a cabochon, is the ring of beads always done in hand before placing upon the cabochon? I keep it without the cabochon as long as I can, because it is a kind of an uncomfortable thing to hold the cabochon in the ring until it's not secured. So I put in the cabochon actually at this moment when I start closing the back with around 15 seed beads. So my thread is exiting a Miyuki Delica size 11 that I picked up in the very first step, and this bead is sticking out. And now indeed I put in my cabochon with the colorful the colorful side facing the part that is already beaded, because for me personally, but there are so many things about beading that are personal, that you just need to try what works the best for you. But for me, this is pretty much a rule that I bead the front of the cabochon first, I bead to the back, and then I close the back of the cabochon in the same way. So I actually don't have more illustrations here because it's exactly the same as the front side, but now I'm going to add round 15 seed beads between the delicas that are sticking out. And this is how I bead all around the bezel. And in the meanwhile, Shirley said, sometimes when it's very slippery, I stitch the first row of the back loosely, then put the cap in and pull the thread tight. That's a very good idea, Shirley. Thank you so much for sharing that. And then we have Faye. And Faye says, I usually bead about half a round of 15s on the back before putting in the cap. It helps to hold it better for me. Thanks, Faye. Like after a while, I think everyone finds his own style, what works the best. And yeah, it's really nice to share these ideas with each other. So sometimes something might not even come to our mind if someone doesn't remind us about that possibility. So it's really nice to belong to a beading group, I think, and ask questions when you are not sure about something, and yeah, help fellow beaders who are just starting out.
It's such a great community too. I found the beading community is just, people are so friendly and so kind, and it's been a great pleasure to be part of the beading community, I think.
Wendy, I could not agree more. Like the beading community, and we have a Facebook group called the Beading School Club. Uh, for beaders who like to follow my tutorials or who like material that is available at beadingschool.com. And that community is like one of the biggest gifts in my life.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I was telling Chris the other day, it's amazing how I have met people online that I've never met in person and maybe never will, but they've become such good friends to me. And just, you develop these bonds, even though we never meet in person, we may never. Just it's just as strong of a bond, I think, almost as meeting someone in person. The online relationships that we develop doing these kinds of things. It's really nice.
I love these relationships, and uh, I was like lucky to meet some beaders when it was possible to travel to bead shows, and I was teaching at Bead and Button and here and there. And then I was lucky to meet some beaders whom I knew maybe for years on social media, and it just felt that we know each other. There
Mm-hmm.
was nothing weird, nothing like, oh, this is our first meeting, not at all.
Right. Yes, you feel like you've already been friends.
I just wanted to show also as a motivation for beginner readers some more advanced projects that you can do when you master peyote bezels. I prepared here, for example, this one is the Caravaggio pendant, and it's basically some peyote bezels and then some other kinds of connections. But if you master peyote bezels, then you are already prepared to bead something like this.
That
Or
is amazing.
this is the Alina earring. I designed it for a friend. And this is also the basic is peyote bezels.
Wow. What are the smaller beads down on the bottom, like the points there on this? What are those?
The bronze ones, you mean?
Yes, like above the drop, there's one, and then beside the bottom rivoli, there's two of them. What are those?
Those are, some of them are glass pearls, check glass
Okay.
pearls, and then some of them are fire polished beads.
Wow. Okay. That's beautiful.
Mhm. This is
Wow.
one of the colors that I love using because it gives this elegant vintage feel to
Yes.
everything, even if the other colors are a bit crazy.
It's beautiful. I love the colors.
And Tanya says, it's great to have those virtual friends in life, and sometimes they become real friends.
That is true.
Indeed. And Wendy says, one of the best things about social media is this type of content, sharing interests and spreading skills and fostering friendships based on shared interests.
Yes.
Indeed.
Hmm.
Mhm. Yeah, there are always, I see, like very lovely, very kind discussions under your videos on your YouTube channel, Wendy, and
Yes. I try to
very,
keep it very positive. I know that with the pandemic and, just the last couple of years, things have been so difficult for people and people have been so isolated. And I really want my channel to feel like a place where people can come and find friends,
yeah.
find that camaraderie that they don't have especially if they live alone, alone and just don't have a lot of people to be around. So that's kind of what I hope to make it become. Yeah.
Well, it feels like a very good place when I read the comments.
And likewise, I mean, the first coffee time that I watched, I just was amazed at just the kindness and the comments and the helpful, everyone's so helpful and so supportive and so friendly. It's just a great place to be. Yeah.
I'm really like amazed by the kindness of the community here. Like
Mhm.
I often hear from like admins from all kinds of Facebook groups that the moderation it's a gruesome task, and we don't really moderate because we don't need to.
Right.
So, it's just it's a good place.
Hmm.
I don't need to remove bad comments because there are like
Hmm.
I can recall maybe 3 comments that I deleted during the past 3 years. So
Wow, that is
that's
great.
like nothing.
I haven't had trouble in my Facebook group but now the YouTube channel, sometimes I'll delete things just because there's no point. I don't want the negativity on there, so I'll delete things. But YouTube is a little more, you have a broader range, and I think people feel kind of brave behind a keyboard sometimes. Maybe they would say that behind a keyboard that they wouldn't say in person. So,
It
but
can be.
yeah, we
It
want to
can
keep it
be.
very positive and upbeat and just, a community of friends. So
Mhm.
that's my aim. That's my goal.
And Gunnar was asking in the meanwhile for your channel, so I just posted the link.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes.
Mhm. So if you are watching from Beading School, then make sure to follow Wendy. And then if you will watch this later from Wendy, then also make sure to follow Beading School and check out our classes and check out the beadingschool.com page.
Yes. This opens a whole world of new potential for just the plain stringing people. So, I mean, this is just this you can add this element into stringing projects even. And it's so beautiful. So I hope that my all of my subscribers will come over and check you out, because this is just this opens a whole new world to us bead stringing people. It's
Peyote bezels are indeed like they are great. I think like we often in the community also like we beat another motif, but then we put it together with a peyote bezel if you want like longer earrings, for example. So you can use them in so many different ways.
yes, these
Mhm.
are just so pretty.
And I just added my last bead. How are you doing?
I am doing the same thing. I'm adding my last bead. I'm right with you.
And I'm just laughing because like I picked these colors that are on my bead mat because I wanted to select vibrant colors to make it more visible on the video that what am I doing. But I actually like how it looks like at the end.
It's very pretty. Yeah. See, here's the one here. There's ours. And yours it's got some very vibrant, beautiful colors in it. It's very pretty. So
I
it's
like
such
yours.
different looks. I mean, you're doing the same thing, but it can look completely different.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And I will also post the link to the Learn to Bead Peyote starter box that we put together for you. You want to try it, then it includes everything what Wendy said at the beginning and everything that she is using today. So it's a good start on your beading journey.
Yes.
Yay, I like your sparkly one.
This is my second one ever. Now it matches. I can do some earrings. 2. Where's the camera? There we go.
So ladies, if you still have some questions about whatever, about Wendy's channel, about beading school, about peyote bezels, about whatever what comes to your mind about beading, then we are still here for you for a couple of minutes. And we actually have something exciting to do. Wendy, I have a task for you.
Yes.
We are on a quest.
Okay.
Are you up for it?
I'm up for it. Bring it.
Last week, some of my colleagues, it feels like a family. Some of our family members from the beading school team, they visited Jablonec nad Nisou, which is the city in the Czech Republic where all the beautiful beads are made, the preciosa crystals, the fire polished beads, the glass pearls that you were asking about. And our ladies were visiting some of the factories. And as we are also this month, we are exploring Art Nouveau style jewelry because that's the first theme of our beading school academy. And the Czech Republic, to connect it all, to wrap it up. The ladies, Andrea and Vivi, they brought back preciosa seed beads, and they brought back some beautiful postcards and notebooks and bookmarks decorated by paintings of Alphonse Mucha, who was one of the most famous Art Nouveau artists, and he was born in the Czech Republic. So that's how it comes together. And we had a giveaway. It was running until today. And Wendy, I would like to ask for some help to select our 3 winners who will get, every one of the winners will get some beads and will get a notebook and also another little gift, either a bookmark or a postcard.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Do they have here beaders who entered the giveaway? Tell us in a comment. And are you excited? So we have 60 beaders who entered the giveaway.
Okay.
And I have a list here. And Wendy, can you please pick 3 numbers? And then I will tell that what is the name next to the number. So who are the winners?
Okay. Number 7.
7. Okay, so number 7. Let's look at number 7. Number 7 is Irene Bulka-Lenihan. Congratulations, Irene. I'm happy for you.
Is she
I don't know if Irene is here. Tell me another number, please.
Okay. Let's do number 23.
23. Let's look who is 23. 23 is Sharon John Doster. Congrats, Sharon. Are you here with us today? Let's see. But big congrats for Irene and Sharon so far. And
Yeah.
I need a third number, Wendy.
Okay, let's see. Third number. Let's do number, you said between 1 and 60?
Exactly.
Let's do 59.
59. Okay. 59 is Emmy Pushkash. Congratulations, Emmy. So
Congratulations, all three.
I'm super happy for Irene and Sharon and Emmy, and we will contact you. And please please get back to us before the end of the week. That's important. So congrats and write us. You can also write us an email, but we will also try contacting you, of course. So thank you so much, Wendy, for helping me picking the winners. And I have actually two more big news to share. And first one is I would like to invite everyone to uh, to join Fridays. No one has to be the lone class. I'm now looking for the picture and I can't find it for some reason. Just a moment. Okay, my program is sometimes playing games with me, hide and seek. Anyway, so you can. Here is the link. I actually found the link. And I'm posting the link to the Facebook event. And please mark going, and you can explore another technique that can be actually very easily combined also with stringing. So we will make some beaded beads.
Yes, very nice.
And I have another something to share with you. So over the last couple of weeks, we were playing with Art Nouveau style jewelry. The Beading School Academy opened its doors, and the Beading School Academy, it is a big adventure for all of us around the world. And every 2 months, if you sign up, you receive a beautiful box of hand-picked components, always focusing on the same, on a different theme. So this time we are exploring Art Nouveau, and it also comes with tutorials, and it also comes with a virtual classroom where you can read articles connected to the theme. And actually I somehow got really hooked up. I knew that it will be exciting because it is one of my favorite styles, but I'm beading and beading and beading Art Nouveau pieces. So many of our beaders were asking that even if there are lots and lots of beads and components in the box, they want to bead also even more. So today we were uploading some more beads and components, and also the same stuff that also came in the boxes. And exactly for a week, we will have a sale for all the magic garden components and beads. We just added about 20 colors of storm duos also and round drop duos. And everyone who visits beadingschool.com will get automatically 10% discount. And if you are signed up for Beading School Academy, then it's 15%.
Wow. That's beautiful. Is that a picture of what came in the box that you could make?
Yes, that's the second tutorial that will be released from the box, and everyone on the fuchsia level of the academy will receive this tutorial as a gift from me. And on this first picture where that I showed you, this is like the symbolic key of the Beading School Academy. Behind the key, you can see the magic garden bracelet that
Beautiful.
also came in the box.
Wow. Okay. going to beadingschool.com right now. Beautiful.
Thanks. So, Wendy, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you, Erica. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much.
And I can't wait to see your creations. And please, everyone, if you have questions, then let us know and we are happy to help you. So, wishing everyone a beautiful rest of the day and lots of creative ideas. Bye bye.
Bye.